My name is Bob Beatty, UC Farm Advisor in Kings County for tree crops, and I have with me again Chris Wiley, Ranch Manager of AgriWorld. We now have a tree that would be a third leaf tree, and we're now going to have Chris come in and kind of perform some pruning and explain to us the cuts that he's going to make, as well as whatever tying he might perform and why you prefer that tying. Chris?
Okay. First of all, mark all, everybody's shears has got to be marked because they have to understand 16 inches and 22 inches. And usually most fruit wood, we go 16 inches or less. If it's real low like these, I don't care if they want to bring it, you throw that up there, so you got around 16, then you got it. It's going to stay there. Same with this. It's about 16 inches. If you want to go a little shorter, that's fine. It doesn't matter. But then we have all of the secondaries, and I don't go more than 22 inches because it's all about strength and girth. Same with this, and I have the men measure until they get used to the lengths. Because anything, if I throw my shears up there and they got them up here, 30 inches is way too long. These whips got to be between 16 inches and 22 inches.
Chris has said that he wants 22 inches from the origination of the secondary to the tip of the tertiaries.
Right.
Bob Peterson, one of the godfathers of the pistachio industry, developed this system of what he called ratio pruning, which is to have two branches arising from the previous structural branch. So you're building a house, and his feeling very strongly was that if you had one primary, then you would have two secondaries arising from that primary, and if you have off of each secondaries, then you would have two tertiary branches arising off the secondary. Is that an accurate description, Chris?
Exactly.
Okay, that's the principle behind ratio pruning.
But we want to build this framework because you have about 6 years, maybe 7 years to get the structure, get the canopy, then the fruit comes. And once the fruit comes, and Bob could relate to this, the growth slows down. So if you don't build your tree by at least year 7 or 8, your growth is going to be between 6 and 15 inches a year. 22 inches every year for the first 7 years. You'll have a beautiful tree.
So over here, we have an abomination. This is a violator of the ratio rule.
It doesn't always happen.
So we need the expert to tell us how we're going to get this guy back into shade.
No problem.
What do we do?
We can steal this lower growth, this fruit wood, and right now it's fruit wood. But if I tie it up, it becomes a framework limb. So then I have my two off the primaries. So I got my two secondaries.
One, you just hung your shears on that thing that's down low. What do you think you ought to do about that?
Well, I already have 3 primaries, and I'm happy. 3 primaries is beautiful, so this is just going to go...
Just too low?
Too low. Tie this up to make it a permanent position. Actually, this cut should have been done last year. They just kind of missed it.
Okay, now Chris, tell us what kind of tie material you're using here.
It's a nylon. It's called strapping. I know there's lots of names for it. CBC, there's different companies, but I like it's a cross mesh. It's very strong. And I train my guys to make sure they tie it at least, well, let's go ahead and net to 22 inches. But on this, I don't have any secondary, so I'm going to just kind of go a little, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to go a little shorter so I can get some secondaries, some wood. But if you tie it too low, it's going to cut itself. But if you tie it higher, it won't hurt itself. It won't cut into the wood. And as it grows this season, it just kind of pushes itself in. So it's and I try to get in an upright position. And some people think it's too upright. As far as I'm concerned, pistachio, there's no such thing. More upright, the better.
He has these tertiaries. Do you want to leave 3 or
No.
Right.
I'm going to tie this up. And if I broke this, I would keep this. I got my ratios. And flat limbs have no strength. Trust me, they have no strength. Their first crop load, I've seen trees completely invert, just completely open up. If I have my structure, my primaries, secondaries, tertiaries, and then everything upright after the first 7 years, I can support 7,000-pound crops. But the first 5 years on these young trees are very important. You've got to get them upright. This canopy will put all the growth on the top, net me my 3 or 4 feet this year, and I'll come back in the winter next year and net 22 inches. If I can net 22 inches every year, I'm a happy pruner.